Hello everyone, I'm PrussianPrince with another Total War Warhammer 2 tournament match cast. This is the Master of Lizardmen final between VM's Crabling and RTK's PrussianPrince. Yes, that is me. And yeah, it's been about half a month since I actually posted something, so it has definitely been a while. But I've been busy working on the Warhammer World Championship website, busy working on my CV, applying to jobs and so on and so forth. So lots of personal stuff going on. Other than that though, I of course have not given up on my YouTube channel, and I will not give up on my YouTube channel, even if it means uploading less and less and not as frequently. But that said, this is a best of 5 in the Master of Lizardmen, and it is the final between myself and Crabling. So this match decides who gets to advance to the actual playoffs of all the Master tournaments as the faction that is Lizardmen. So to start things off, I'm playing here as Skaven. Of course, that means Crabling is Lizardman. So Skaven here, what do I have? I of course have a Grey Seer of Plague. Here you can see the Grey Seer. We have Arcane Conduit, Warp Storm Scroll, Vermintide, Dreaded 13th, Unholy Clamor, Scorch, okay, Plague Rash, and some other stuff, Wall of Unholy Sound. I believe a lot of that stuff is just, default abilities that the unit has. And then in terms of other single entities, we do have the Chieftain over here, with, of course, Guardian, Shield of Distraction. Have the Assassin over here. The Assassin does actually have Concealment Bombs, Assassin's Trophy, Rival Hide, Talisman. So that's all for single entities. For everything else, we do see up front a bunch of Skaven Slave and Skaven Slave Spears. So that is a total of 3 regular Skaven Slaves, and I believe 3 make that, 3 Skaven Slave Spears. Behind those we have 2 Clan Rat Spears. We do also have 2 Poison Wind Globadiers, so these could be very useful. We also have 2 Night Runners, Natty Bubo's Sharpshooters, and regular Warplock Jezzails. Last but not least, we do have 2 Rat Ogres over here, and the Storm Vermin here. Well, actually, yeah, the ROR Council Guard. So, some pretty useful stuff, I suppose. That said, it is time to look over the Lizardmen build. So what do we have here? Well, it looks pretty standard so far. We do have Lord Mazda Mundi, not on Zlag, just on, what do you call it? Toilet, I guess. So what I suppose is one of the common names. Of the Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Net of Amantok, Blood of course Sunbird, Standard of Hexoatl, and Greater Arcane Conduit. Now we do have 3 single entities, that is 2 Bastiladons with solar engines, and of course the Stegodon, so that is a lot invested in single entities. We do have some Chameleon Skinks, I believe. How many? Looks like 2 of them right now, unless there's some over here as well. Yeah, so 4 Chameleon Skinks in total. These interesting positioning here with them. That's pretty good, to be fair. We of course have the Legion of Chakwa, so this is the Chocolate Legion, so our Spears unit. We have some skim cohorts with the Javelins, that is 4 of them. Looks like 2 Saurus Warriors with shields, ready to go, and that was like 4 minutes of just doing the intro. Alright, so right now you can see that this is going to be a skirmish game, but already good start because both solar engines actually hit these 2 trees over here, which means that this is very, very good. The initial shot's not doing any damage. Right now we have the Warplock Jezzails actually starting to target the solar engines, so damage is going to be done. And again, the solar engines are unable to hit here because of all these trees here. Now if we zoom away, yeah, you can see the trees are doing great. Salon here taking damage. Some decent shots here from, I believe, I'm not sure what's actually shooting. It could be the Stegodon, maybe? Yeah, this I think the Stegodon is actually targeting these Warplock Giselles. But here you can see already the Solar Engine is taking quite the damage here from these Giselles. It's pretty good stuff. Solar Engine here does get a nice shot into those Giselles to the rank. Now Solar Engine has 240 range and these Giselles have 275, so theoretically the Giselles could have remained out of range. So that's not ideal, but this unit also has 360, so, you know, couldn't have remained out of range of everything. And by the way, right now, see the Skinks going around, and this is not going to be good. Solar Engine here is still getting hit pretty hard, though. We have the Gracier of Plague moving up for a summon. The Skaven Slave Spears, and you have the Globadiers turning around just to try and shove some damage here. Gonna have a summon here. Where is it gonna pop is the real question. Solar Engine here actually missing completely. Trying to dodge here with the Grace here and get a summon off, but we can see one Solar Engine here is taking massive casualties. Skinks are now being shown, and here we see a summon straight into these Chameleon Skinks, so hopefully should be able to be very, very annoying for those Skinks. As they're engaged here, they might be losing some models at this point, we'll see, because that's a pretty nice summon though. The Radogres here being hit, the Giselles have to turn around and shoot them, which is not ideal. Honestly, they maybe shouldn't even have turned around, but it is what it is. They have to get taken care of. Yeah, so it looks like now the next target is the Stegodon, which is good. Skaven Slaves gonna engage the Skink Cohorts with Javelins here. Nope, the Skink Cohorts with Javelins are running away. Decentish hit on the Many Bupos. This Clanneret summon is actually basically routing at this point. It's gone. But the Chameleon Skink took a lot of damage, so I'd say that it was pretty much worth it. Now I have the Globadiers engaging here. I mean, Skink Cohorts with Javelins might even win this engagement against the Skaven Slaves, potentially, and I think they will. But with the Globadiers, that's going to change the situation. Not sure why they're not moving up here, because they definitely could have done a great job. Now there's engagement over here, which is also going to go great for Skaven, because these Globadiers here will end up wiping out this Skink Cohort, so that's pretty good. That's definitely quite good. Here, this Skink Cohort here, yeah, the Globadiers could be doing something. Of course, this unit is fleeing, as is the Skink Cohort there, so that's pretty good. Still down here, coming back on 800 HP. And of course, the Solar Engine still missing the Gracier of Plague, and that's a really nice, you know, the unit stopping here is pretty good, because Stegodon was trying to predict where the Gracier was going, but of course, the unit being stopped doesn't mean it's gonna continue going that way. So Assassin and Chieftain are over here. We see the Giselle still trying to hit those Solar Engines, but I feel like these Night Riders being right in front here are kind of annoying. So the Skink Cohort is basically gone. Skaven Slaves running away. Another summon here onto the Skink Cohorts. Some more Skinks coming around, and this could be very annoying, but again, Skaven Slaves will be going there to assist. Radogres here, I mean, they're gonna do just fine here. It doesn't really matter if they take a bit of damage. The Lord has taken some damage though, and yeah, you see here the Poisoned Wind Globadier is gonna kite back as these two units push forward, but they got hit a little bit. Skaven Slave Spears will block them for a bit, and then the Poisoned Wind Globadiers will turn around and be able to do some work. Poisoned Wind Globadiers here getting some hits onto those Saurus, which is quite good, but they're gonna pull back now. Excellent move by Crabling. There's also going to be a summon here from the Skaven to try and save these Globadiers, but it's a bit rough, even though there's like 2 units here to defend it. Now here you see Radogres coming through. Poison Wind Globadier is actually unable to finish this off, but more Radogres taking out these Skink Cohorts as well, so that's pretty good. So that Solar Engine actually missed, which is huge. These Javelins are actually dying right now. Again, pretty good stuff. This one's down. Poison Wind Globadiers here actually finishing off those Saurus. So right now, there's some really good engagements. But the Warplock Giselles are starting to run out of ammo. It's going to be a nice cast here, which should be doing some damage. Yeah, that is a great banishment. It might even hit the Storm Guard. Council Guard or Council Guard. Nope. Does move away, so the Council Guard are safe. Skaven Slaves engaging here into Skinks, which is alright. Now these Poison Bombardiers are engaged in combat, which is very, very bad for them. Of course, Giselle's doing damage here, but there's still the Stegodon, still 2 solar engines, so it's not completely it. This Clan Rat's actually running out. Poison Bombardiers here, they might. Yeah, they're gonna end up losing this combat potentially. Oh, this unit is out of control, though. Yeah, it's going to finish off this Bombardiers for sure. Have the Night Runners here, which could most definitely do some work onto Lizardmen, but we have the Gracier having to kite back, Council Guard pushing forward. Nice damage here from the Poison Wind Bombardiers onto those King Cohorts. Rat Ogre's coming around because there's going to be a flanking maneuver over here, which is pretty good. Just here routing is not good, and the Gracier Blake taking too much damage at this point. That's a lot of damage. That's an okay ruination. Have the assassin here and the chieftain doing some work. We see that the solar engine here is caught, and it might actually rout because it's hit by this rat ogre. Nice shield of the old ones from Lizardmen though, and there's still lots of engagements everywhere happening. Gracier Blake is surviving. Assassin here might actually finish off this unit. We have Giselle's against Skinks, so that's quite an interesting engagement there. So here the solar engine is gone, but the Rat Ogres here are sort of engaged alone. There is, however, another Rat Ogre unit which is going to go in here. Poison Wind Bombardiers are going to actually hit this Chameleon Skink unit, which is huge because now we have the damage over time. This unit is gone. Another unit coming back here, which is a Skaven Slave unit. Look back here, the blob fight is going the way of... actually, I believe Lizardmen are eventually going to win this, but there's going to take some damage from the Rat Ogres. This unit here is definitely very annoying, and it's hitting the Bombardiers in the back, so that's not good, but have the Clan Rat Spears to get rid of them. So this engagement here going very, very well. Rat Ogres aren't alive, but they might actually get routed soon. It's going to be a banishment here, but we do see a dodge. But actually, it looks like it's going the right way, so there's definitely going to be some damage here, but most of the units are ending up dodging. We have here this Clan Rat Spear actually taking on the Saurus Warriors with shields. Don't see that too often, but it took enough damage to make that a possibility. I do have the Poison Wind Mortars and the Night Runners doing damage here to these 3 single entities. Balance of power looking heavily in favor of Skaven. Chieftain and Assassin pushing forward here as well. This solar engine is broken and running away. It's going to be a cast here, which we'll see how much damage it does. Yeah. Rat Ogre's routing could be a problem because they are a really great tool against all of this, but even the poison hitting here is doing quite a decent amount. It's going to be another ruin initiative here. We will see how much damage it does. It doesn't go the right way. This Rat Ogre here is coming back, which is huge. Chieftain and Assassin are chasing off some of these units. Now we see Lizardmen is wavering, so that's kind of annoying. Gracier Blake could have actually engaged the Skink perhaps, but yeah, the Council Guard here and the Natty Boobos will be more than fine. Assassin and Chieftain still chasing, and this Clan Rat Spear could be sent over here to support because this is all necessary. So the Gracier Plague actually in quite some trouble. It's gonna pop a summon here and try to survive, but we will see because yeah, it's trying to run away, but you see the Stegodon is actually chasing it. This could be huge here. It's really catching up to it. It has 50 speed against 34, so Stegodon can certainly catch up to the Gracier. And see, the Gracier is not in good situation at all. We have Unholy Clamor, which should help. 500 HP, and it's getting hit more and more, so starting to really go down. Rat Ogre's coming back there, and they could be used. The Gracier is going to go down soon, so we will see what happens. So Clan Rats here trying to annoy the Stylodon, and we'll see the Gracier routing very soon or dying. Right now we will see some hits. Yep, there's a rout, and here we go. The Lord is dead. The balance of power is still heavily in Skaven favor. Council Guard are still alive. Lizardmen is routed off the field, and he's actually getting hit. by these Council Guard, but as he's moving, it's actually getting a little bit tougher to hit him. Right now he is surrounded and he's back, so because of that, he's going to get engaged here. Nice shield of the old ones. Pop anything when you can. We have here Chieftain and Assassin hitting the Stegadon here, and at this point it's going to be pretty much decided because, you know, that one unit is routed, and there we go, everything is gone. Skaven take the victory here. So that was quite a long game, but statistically, Gracie not much done, but as you'd expect for summons. So any other units here? Yeah, we see the Clanrad Spears. Cigar doing okay, considering they were still alive at the end. Look at these Globadiers, this damage value is insane, and Chazel's doing alright for themselves. Rat Ogres, eh. Now for Lizardmen, as you'd expect, Mazda did some damage. Yeah, the Soros Warriors not paying for themselves here. Goers with Javelin either. The Chameleon Skinks as usual, quite beastly, except this one. Solar Engine doing great, the other one not so much because it got focused early, and of course the Stegadon getting value. That is game 1, see how game 2 goes. So here we are with game 2 on Lightseeker Forward. I'm up 1-0 in this best of 5 series, playing as Lizardmen, and on the other side we have Crabling in command of Norska. So it is time to look at the compositions. But before that, I'm gonna go with slow motion. So what do we have here? We have the Slan Mage Priest of a Light for once. We have Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Aura of Quetzal, Perona's Time Warp, the Avantalk, Fast Protection, Great Arcane Conduit, and Exorcism. Okay. We do have a lot of single entities as well. So we have a Solar Engine, we have a Feral Carnosaur, and the Rev Crystal Bastillodon. We also see 2 Pterodon Riders up in the air. It's sort of a boxed formation here. Up front, 3 Temple Guards supported by 3 Skink Cohorts with Javelins. Last but not least, the cohort of Sotek. This is the ROR Red Crested Skinks unit. So that is it for the Lizardmen here. Now what do we have for Norska? We have Wolfric the Wanderer on his Mammoth, of course, with Hunter of Champions, Fight or Die, Seafang, of course, the usual reach that he gets. That single entity wise, probably a caster. Indeed, it is the Shaman Sorcerer of Death on a horse. Roll shielding, Purple Son of Sirius, very interesting. Doom and Darkness, Spirit Leech, and Life Leeching. Are the single entities? Not really. We do have the Beasts of Tashnar. It is an ROR Norscan Warhounds unit. We do see some other Ice Wolves as well over there. I mean, these are Warhounds. We do have some Marauders on the field. Looks like a total of 2, maybe 4 regular Marauders. We do have 2 Marauder Berserkers. In the center, yeah, it's the 5th Marauder. These guys are the Ice Horn Marauders, so slightly different compared to regular Marauders, but not that much different, I guess. Right behind those, we have 3 Marauder Hunters, so these are very, very important because they're Javelin units, and they also have the Shield a Breaker, very, very interesting stuff. We do have a bunch of these, what are these, Norscan Ice Trolls, which you don't see too often, but they're on the field. There's 2 of them, and it's time to hit play. Already, probably the Pterodon Riders here got Spirit Leeched. Have some nice shots from the Solar Engine here. This positioning, you know, fighting downhill, it's not bad. Actually got the rocks dropped off here, but didn't do so much despite the unit having like low armor. So now this position here is quite okay. Maybe it could have been further up here, but still. Solar Engine is able to, yeah, what the Solar Engine needs to do here actually is get rid of the Marauder Hunters and the rest of the Pterodons, but actually missed their opportunity here. That shot actually does end up killing like 6 of them, but that's not really enough. The Skink Cohorts with Javelins wasting their ammo onto Marauders. Bad idea to have Fire at Will on there. But yeah, right now you can see the Pterodon Riders are trying to go over the Marauder Hunters here. And yeah, more Javelins being wasted here, which is really, really bad. Repositioning is happening, which is good. Don't want to get flanked from the right if possible. Want to start an engagement here. So right now we see all the javelins starting to pelt Wulfric the Wanderer. He's taking quite a bit of damage for starters. Third Riders getting hit here. Solar Engine actually missing, and there's going to be a possible engagement here as you see the Carnosaur trying to munch on Wulfric, but does decide to pull back. There's an engagement over here, but already this is not the desired engagement. However, this engagement could be pretty good here because the Shaman Sorcerer of Death is getting munched on by all these single entities. Of course, this Solar Engine doesn't hit again. And here's a problem, because this unit is over here when it probably would have been better if it actually was over here instead, but it is not. Now the Solar Engine is stuck here, it cannot fire properly. Northern Ice Trolls get terrified, which is huge. There's gonna be a boat somewhere over here. Let's go through the Skink Over Javelin, which is huge. Solar Engine misses again. This engagement here is good, and you see the Slan is trying not to die here. Cars are engaging. But the red-crested skinks are not in combat here, which is a huge problem. There's no infantry support. Trying to get into the javelins, a rear charge on them as well. Good hit onto Wulfric actually. But we do see Temple Guards coming in, but a little bit too late actually. Over here there's more Warhounds and everything else coming through. Temple Guards here going to beat those for sure. The Dawn Riders doing great here, and Court of Sotek doing their work, getting rid of the Marauder Hunters. Nice hit onto Wulfric again, but Wulfric is still at half HP, so yeah, Pterodon's coming back. Engagement here will be won by Temple Guards, but there is no proper box here, so the engagement isn't that good. We see the Shaman Sorcerer of Death around there as well. These Temple Guards winning that engagement, but at this point there's still so much left for for the Norskans in terms of infantry and javelins. Solar Engine here is trying to keep hitting Wulfric because he needs to get debuffed by Solar Engine, and it's a pretty big debuff, you know, like poison, also blinded, so that is a huge effect. The Solar Engines need to keep pushing, but they're actually engaged with something else right now. And here there's going to be a very interesting thing, which you see, there's a Net of Amantok onto Wulfric, but his charge animation is so long that he's quite literally charging through here, and he's able to still go and keep doing his charge as he's netted. So I think, you know, I think C should change that. You shouldn't be able to charge while you are still netted. I think that is an oversight, and this is pretty big because it means that the Slan Mage actually keeps getting hit over and over, and that was bad. Of course, that is a nice debuff onto Wulfric. Bounce power is terrible. I mean, yeah, he's blinded. Minus 24 attack, minus 24 defense, but it doesn't really matter that much because at this point the situation is very much in favor of the Norskans. They have enough units left. Wulfric is still at 3k HP, though the Pterodons try to protect the Slan. Slan is actually shattered, and he's alive on 800 HP, minus 128 leadership. Look at this leadership. Minus 120 army losses, minus 53 damage sustained. So Crabling takes the game, and now it is 1-1, which is actually a much more decisive game than the first one, I think. So let's take a look at the statistics. Yeah, Temple Guard's not paying for himself. Singore's doing just enough. Rev Crystal not that much. For Connoisseur doing okay. Pterodons, yeah, not great. Same with the Bastildon. Now Wulfric getting not his value, but we're still alive with a decent chunk of HP left at the end. Marauders, not the value needed, but what are you gonna do here? Oh, the Marauder Hunters, of course. Yeah, these were huge, very instrumental in winning here, and there was only one Solar Engine to get to work on them, so, and to tear down Riders, so they had a pretty decent field day here. Ice Wolves and Beasts of Tashnar didn't have to do much. The Ice Rolls did a great job as well. Anyway, this is 1-1, so we'll see how the rest of the series goes. So here we are with Game 3 on Mosquito Swamps. I'm playing as High Elves, and Crabling is in command of the Lizardmen. So right now I'm using the trusty High Elf build I have in this matchup, which I actually think I took it from Zyphos. I saw him using it. Well, not entirely this build, I think, but something similar. I just adapted it. So, slow motion time. So let's see, up front we have 4 spearmen, supported by 2 white lions of grace. Right behind those, 2 eagle claw bolt throwers, and of course 2 dragon princes. Now up in the air we have the very, very spicy units. So we have the Lord Alariel, the Radiant, on her flying mount. Then we also have the Star of Everlorn, Arcane Conduit, Shielded Thorns, Earthblood, Shieldstone of Isha, Boon of Isha, which not really bring, I don't bring often. Now we have the Star Dragon as well, which has a breadth. Of course, I mean, that comes by default, you can't take it off. And that is going to be the high elf build. Pretty simple, right? Now on the Lizardman side, it's a little bit more complicated. We have the Slan Mage of High, Slan Mage Priest High of High Magic, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Aura of Quetzal, Blood Statuette of Spite, Tempest, Soul Quench, Apotheosis, Blooded Greater Arcane Conduit, and Shield of Sephiri. Other single entities, well, the usual 2 solar engines, and actually a different one here. We have the Ark of Sotek here, so this is actually a different one for sure. Rest of the composition, we do see 3 Chameleon Skinks up front. In terms of javelins, we have 2 skink hordes with javelins. For infantry, I believe it's at least 4 Saurus warriors with shields. Yes, 2 on each flank. In the center, we do have the Legion of Chaka. Wait, is it 3 javelins? Did I say 2? Yeah, it's 3. So, hit play, and we'll see how this works out. Alariel on her Great Eagle just walking around here, or flying around here. Does actually get hit, which is pretty bad. But yeah, at this point, with this high elf build, you have to move up, because you gotta make sure that lizards, the solar engines of the lizards are not in range, so at this point they can actually start firing at the claw bolt throwers, especially because I have to kite back on my right flank because there's no way I win here. So there's a nice Tempest cast here hitting the dragon. It's probably gonna get focused pretty heavily by the jabs here, but Dragon Prince is getting here, so that's good, but the claw bolt thrower is already going down. Even though they're starting to hit the solar engines, Dragon Prince is here engaging and kiting back. This unit is going to go down potentially with 3 units on it, potentially Dragon Prince unit charging it. And oh no, I misclicked here, I suppose. But they are not charging here because a couple of them are stuck, so that's pretty bad. And they're still not charging it. Oh, finally they're charging it now, so that's pretty good. Nice charge, Dragon Prince is coming around. We still see the solar engines doing more work. Skinks coming around, so this is a huge problem. But this, yeah, we have more units coming around here. White Lions will take this engagement well. These spearmen here need to do something. They need to be turning around here to defend the Eagle Claw bolt throwers, but too busy microing over here. You see that actually all these skinks are doing great here. That's a big hit onto Alariel actually, but she's gonna get out of there. The Star Dragon doing great. Spearmen here against Saurus Warriors. Interesting that they're doing so well. That actually hit both Alariel and yeah, but now that she's up here, that was a really good hit. She's getting hit here as well, which is really, really bad. I mean, yeah, Dragon Princess, Star Dragon doing great here, but Star of Avalorn is popped, but look at that. She is taken out so quickly, and at this point, yep, she is going to go down. And shattered, and she's actually probably just going to die. She gets hit a little bit more. Actually, she's just shattered, but yeah. Now the Star Dragon will have no healing. There's of course a nice breath attack here, hitting the Slan Mage Priest. And the Star Dragon actually misses the charge, but it does lock the Slan in, so that's pretty good. But it does make it awkward for the dragon to attack, especially with its debuffed stats. It's not going to do so well. Dragon Prince is coming out and coming back in, but ooh, the thing is, getting hit here is pretty bad for Star Dragon. At this point, there's just way too many lizards on the field, and that is going to be it, as the Star Dragon, with its tail tucked between its legs, going to start running away, especially as its master was forced to concede the battle early on. So there we have it. Basically at this point, ooh, that is another big hit. These Dragon Princes here, trying to do work. I mean, they took out those skinks, and they're doing some work onto these Saurus warriors, but what can you do, right? It's not really a good situation at this point. Yeah, some bolt throwers on the field. Spearmen here fighting the skink with javelins. Should win here, but at this point, just army losses, and that is it. So, Crabling is up 2-1 now. Let's take a look at the statistics. And of course, he's on match point. Yeah, poor Alariel. Didn't get to do much here. White Lions doing some work. Drag Chris is almost paying for themselves. Bolt Throwers even doing okay-ish. But yeah, Alariel, losing Alariel, that was the big blow, and that's what meant, you know, that the battle couldn't be won from that point. Sure, Slan, 2.1k value, that is awesome. Yeah, these have okay value, and these Saurus warriors did great. Skink horse with javelins, why not? Skinks doing okay-ish. And the Saurus, the Solar is definitely paying for themselves. Arc of Soda. So here we have game 4, potentially final game if Crabling takes this game, as he's on match point with 2-1. I'm playing as the Lizardmen, and he's in command of the Beastmen here on Colchian Plains. So right now, if we go to slow motion and go over my composition, and there's actually a bit of an issue here. There we go, encoding overloaded. Nope, all fine. So we have the Lord Mazdamundi on Zlak over here with a lot of stuff. So we have Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Harmonic Convergence, Net of Amantok, Cold-Blooded, which always is brought, of course, Sunburst Standard of Hexwaddle, and Greater Arcane Conduit. So that's a lot of stuff on Lord Mazdamundi. We also have 2 Bastillodons with Solar Engines, as well as a Skink Chief over here. Is there another Skink Chief? No, there is no other Skink Chief. We also have some Saurus Spears. Yeah, it is the Legion of Chakwa. It is an ROR unit. We have 2 Temple Guards as well, and right over here we have the Skink Corps with Javelins unit. So that's most of the army. We do, of course, have some flyers. It is 3 Pterodon Riders. One of them is the Hawk Sentinels, an ROR unit. That's basically it for the Lizardmen. So now for Crabling, what are we gonna have? Time to look at it. We have Morgard the Shadow Grave deployed far away, so he's on foot, of course. We do have the Stave of Ruinous Corruption, Call of Violence, Foe Seeker, Spirit Essence of Chaos, and that's basically it. We do have a Bray Shaman of Wild, with let's see what kind of spells. So we have Jack Dagger, of course, Traitor Kin, also Devolve, Steel Surge, Primal Fury, Unit Ability, and other stuff. Now, other single entities, what do we have here? Nothing else, basically, but everything is super mobile, as you'd expect from the Beastmen. We have Warhounds with Poison on the left flank, looks like 2 Centaurs with great weapons, and 2 Centaurs with throwing axes. Now on the right flank, 2 more Centaurs with throwing axes, with 2 Chaos Warhounds with poison, and 2 Centaurs with great weapons. So fairly symmetrical for the most part, except there's 1 more Warhound with poison there. Front line of looks like just 4 infantry units. It is 4 Angkor Herd on the field. And of course, oh yeah, the Bray Shaman is on a chariot, I forgot to mention, basically. So yeah, trying to hit play. So now over here we're gonna have an engagement. Of course, the Blob Lizardmen, as basically you don't want to be fighting, fight the Beastmen at their own game, which is mobility. You don't want to do that. Lizardmen want to stay together a lot. Now there's a big Traitorkin here, which is really hurting units. Someone got hurt here, got shot, and yeah, they died pretty quickly. So right now we have Morgar engaged here, but there's a big problem. These Pterodon Riders are not doing great. The Warhounds here and the Centaurs are engaging. We have, oh yeah, the Ancient Stegodon. Does they have an Ancient Stegodon? I don't know. Engaging here. Of course, it does actually hit the Ancient Stegodon here, which is very bad. Morgar doesn't get hit, but Morgar is netted right now. But the thing is, there's a lot of units right now that are sort of not engaging properly. We have the Saurus Spears turning around, but the Centaur is getting a decent charge off into Temple Guards here. Of course, Javelins will be trying to engage here, but again, this engagement is not so good. Shield of the Old Ones doesn't cover those. These units here are not in the best spot. It's going to be a big Ruination pop here. We'll see how much damage it does. It actually does some friendly fire as well, but all the beastmen here rout, and actually a bunch of them shatter, which is huge. This is huge. There's a big banishment here, hurting those Unger hurt, but should have been popped on something else. This is a summon, so trying to get away from it. Skink Chief here is in a lot of trouble. These Temple Guards will defeat those Chaos Warhounds with poison, but the Theradan Riders here just unable to do anything at this point. Master Mundi doing work. Yeah, these Temple Guards should be turning around, but at this point, Bounce Power not so much in favor of Beastmen, but you can see that they're actually the ones that are quite okay here. They still have summons. Yeah, some engagements are being won here by the Lizardmen, but again, there's so much in the field for Beastmen still. And yeah, Mazdamundi is here. We have the Stegs and the Bastiladon here. This is a problem because the monsters are not all together, so they're not really dishing out the most nuking damage they could in one area. So again, lizards want to be together, not like this. So Bastiladon actually ends up, yeah, hitting some of these, but again, Mazda is over here. We see the Hawk Sentinels trying to do damage onto that unit. Orger is popping Call of Violence and Foe Seeker, so that's helping him out actually. Mazdamundi doing some work here. Bounce Power still not terrible. This engagement will go the way of the Temple Guards. They're gonna get rid of that Centigore unit. Some of these spawns are going out, and that's a big hit from the Solar Engine onto Morgar. So Morgar is in some trouble, especially as he's netted now. We have the Ancient Stegodon coming around. So Mazdamundi is hitting him from a different angle. Apotheosis and Shield the Old Ones here popped to help. Master Power still not heavily in the favor of Beastman, actually, well, it still is. And that Overcast actually hurt a lot. But still, the Traderkin Overcast is going to do a lot of damage here. It's going to hurt soon. Big hit from the Solar Engine here onto Morgar. The Mazdamundi is hurting. Stegodon coming in to get some hits onto Morgar, but it's going to be able to. Fortunately, the Temple Guards here, even though they're routing, they're helping. So actually, that didn't do so much. Yeah, that was a pretty bad ruination. Morgar is still alive here, and he's healing. He's at 1389. Mazda is... Oh, he actually dies right before the Apotheosis. And of course, Stegodon is here, but these throwing axes here will do so much damage to the Stegodon. You can see that it's actually going down fast due to these, because they have so much AP, these throwing axes. So they're really good units in this matchup. You can see the Stegodon just going down so fast, and Battles of Power really moving more and more in favor of the Beastmen. Yeah, still 3 single entities, but that's basically it for Lizards. No infantry, no Lord, which could heal. Big hit onto the Bray Shaman here, which is huge. So that is good by the Solar Engine, but at this point, this is going to be it. Not much the Lizardmen can do at this point, as yeah, the Centigores are chasing that Stegodon off the field, and that is the game. So Crabling takes the win and wins the entire tournament, 3-1. So let's the congratulations to him. And in terms of statistics, Mazda did some work. Yeah, the Temple Guards basically playing for themselves. Therodon's not as much. Solar Engine did okay, and yeah, Ancient Stegodon not terribly. But thing is that what happened here is some of the single entities spread out, as did the spears, which is not what you want to do. Keep your box tight and safe from all of these mobile units, even though it's quite difficult. As for the Beastmen, the Bray Shaman did a great job. Probably Traderkin is what gave him so much value. And look at these throwing axes. Yeah, MVPs this game. All 4 of them. So much value from them. Really, really well done with that. Now that is the game and match. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on social media. See you all next time.